Hey guys, it's Darthmagus Plays here, and today I'm going to be doing my tier list of every single Legend of Zelda game and how I feel about it. This was voted in for the March vote. Yep, it won. Thank you for whoever voted. Firstly, before I start, this list was made by Retro, spelled with a 3 and 7E, and includes every single main series game, a few spin-offs, and some remakes, or like a port. So yeah, let's get started. Of course, we got our S tier, A plus tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, E tier, and F tier. So we got all the tiers. And yeah, let's go. Firstly is Tingle's Ruby Rosy Land. I'm sorry, Rosy Ruby Land. Why? I'm putting an F tier, but like, who wanted that? Who wanted a Tingle game? Do you answer? Literally no one. I mean, there's so many other characters you could have made a game about. Sheik, Zelda, Mempha. You chose Tingle. Next up is the Legend of Zelda CDI game. I don't know the exact title, but this is the first one. And the only reason it's not going in F tier is because of the cutscenes. Only reason. Next up is a second Tingle game, but this one's in Japanese. It wasn't even good enough to be localized this time. Now to something actually half decent, or not, sorry, wrong term. Something actually good. Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. This is my favorite 2D Zelda game. I love the story, even though it's pretty similar to Link to the Past. I prefer its art style. And yeah, I'm putting it into A plus tier. Incredibly excellent. I love it. Play it again. Next up is Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past plus 4 swords. This is a Link to the Past with a lower quality, I guess, because like I don't like the Game Boy controller as much. Plus 4 swords, which you need 4 other people who each have a Game Boy Advanced with this game and link cables to even be able to play. For that, I'm putting good, because I mean, it's a good concept, but like, I don't know how good the stuff would be. Then there's Link to the Past. So it's, for me, it's A Link Between Worlds, but slightly worse. So I'm gonna put it right behind it. Next up is Breath of the Wild. This is my second favorite game of all time, maybe even first, by the time I actually do that. It's top 3. I absolutely adore this game. This is my introduction to the Zelda series. Got me hooked on it the entire thing, and I absolutely love it, and I am pumped for the sequel, which I will be getting on day 1. After that is Link's crossbow training. This is effectively, imagine Duck Hunt with the end zapper, but with a Wii version of that, and you have Twilight Princess Link telling you to shoot things. I'm gonna put it in C. I love the concept, but I don't know if it works the best with it. The only thing is like, when does Link ever use a crossbow though? That's the big thing for me. Then there's Force Sword Adventure. I'm gonna put it in C because like it works if you have 4 people you can play with, but if you're like me, where you have like me and like a brother, and it'd be harder to get like a whole family of 4 to play it with you. It'd be pretty hard because of course all I have is a Wii, so and one controller, so I have to buy multiple controllers, and it'd be a whole mess, and just to be played like once or twice because I'll have to get all 4 people. So I'm putting it in C. I never thought Zelda was the best for multiplayer. Yeah. Next up is Hero Warriors Definitive Edition. I'll put that in excellent. I love that game. Legends, I want to put in B for good, and then the original I'm going to put underneath that. Because Definitive Edition, no reason not to. But here's what I'm going to mention. Age of Calamity is not included on this list. So where I would put it is I'd put it in A. So imagine it there. Next up is The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the I'm sorry, Link's Awakening DX. This is the original game, but in color. So obviously it's better. This is one of my favorite Duty Zelda games. I'm putting on top of good, just because of how much I feel like I'm gonna put it in excellent. Put the original in good, just because it's this one but without color. But the remake, I'm gonna put in A plus tier. Or actually, I'm gonna shift this one up. That's what I'm gonna do. So boom. Next up is Majora's Mask 3D. This is the Grizzle remake of Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, and I think it's better because one, I prefer the control scheme. Two, it looks much better. And three, it has a few quality of life adjustments. So for that, I'm gonna put it into A plus tier. Incredibly excellent. Next up is the original. I'm just gonna put it in excellent because why would you want that? Well, you can get this. Next up is Ocarina of Time 3D. For me, this is definitely an S tier game. Sorry, S tier game, not above Breath of the Wild. I love it. I love the overworld, I love the story, I love the characters. I think it's great. I do not think it's the best Zelda game of all time. I think it's under Breath of the Wild for me, but like it's great. Next up is Ocarina of Time plus Ocarina of Time Master Quest. I'm putting an A plus tier. It's just the original game, but plus Master Quest, and I'm gonna put the original underneath it because like you would. Why would you ever want this where you can get this? Unless you're dedicated to using the N64. Next up is the Oracle games. I've never actually played the Oracle games, but I think it's a pretty neat concept. You can go back and link the games together to have a special effects, kind of like Pokemon, where you can link them together and they trade, or you can make trades. And yeah, I'm gonna put it in good because I've heard it's pretty nice. I hear Capcom did a pretty nice job. Next up is Phantom Hourglass. I hear mixed things about this game. Some people enjoy it, while some people hate it for reasons like the control scheme, which uses the which uses the second screen, which I can never get used to. So I'm just gonna put it in top of C. Next up is Skyward Sword. This is a game which is coming to the Switch very soon, which I'm excited to be able to play. But from what I've heard about it, the biggest problem a lot of people have with it is the controls. And I feel like with the Switch, they'll get infinitely better, so I'm not gonna judge it based on that. The story, I think, is pretty good. I'm excited for it. And yeah, I'm gonna put it into top of B. Next up is Spirit Tracks. I'm gonna put it below Phantom Hourglass. I just prefer that game over this one. I think they both have the same problems, but I just prefer Phantom Hourglass. Next up is a Minish Cap. I hear the Minish Cap is absolutely great. I hear that Capcom did an amazing job with it, and I might buy a Game Boy Advanced just to play it. I'm gonna put it into excellent. I love how they how like the Minish and stuff like that. I really enjoy that. Next up is the OG Wind Waker. In my opinion, there's no reason to get this game unless you don't have a Wii U. So I'm gonna put it into underneath Saratoga, but the HG Wind Waker I would put, in my opinion, over the underneath. I put it here personally. I love that game. It's great. Next up is Triforce Heroes. I'm just gonna put in D. It's a multiplayer but online that introduces new problems, and now they're all Toon Links. Eh. Also, another 3 instead of 4. I guess it makes more sense because it's Triforce Heroes. Can't be Quad Force. Next up is the original Twilight Princess. In my opinion, this version is dwarfed by the other two, so I'm gonna put it into good. And I hear the HG version is obviously the best version. This game you hear a lot about it being too similar to Ocarina of Time, but I don't think it's really a bad thing. And it's a bit darker than some other games, Zelda games. So I'm gonna put the HD version on the top of excellent. And then there's Wii, which I'm just gonna put here. So yeah. Next up is the Legend of Zelda. I've never really enjoyed the OG because I've never been able to beat it. I think it's overly hard. For that, I'm gonna put it at the top of C. But I mean, overall, it is a revolutionary game. After that is Zelda 2. In my opinion, if you're at the point where the creator of your game, if the game itself says it's bad, I don't think it's very good. So I'm going to put it in the top of E. Next up is Tingle's Balloon Fight. I enjoy Balloon Fight. This is the only Tingle game I'm kind of on board about, because I mean, I enjoy Balloon Fight. This game is just Balloon Fight, but reskinned to fit with Zelda, so I'm going to put it in C. Finally is the second CDI game, which I'm going to put in F tier, because it does not have nearly as good of cutscenes as the original. So yeah, here's my tier list. Got most games are in good, but other than that, most games are in A plus, and S, rather than C, D, E, and F. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. In the comments, please tell me your top 5 favorite Zelda games. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.